Great. Welcome back here. Let's get the show going here before I go to bed. Great. Welcome back here. Let's get the show going here before I go to bed. Late show, voice is signing. Great. Welcome back here. Let's get the show going here before I go to bed. Great job here. Welcome to the Voice Eternal, the late edition of the show. Now we should have been on by 7 or 8 o'clock, but have other engagements. But so we'll discuss one major item tonight on the platform, and we'll go to bed. But in the meantime, let's build our audience. So we'll be right back to discuss one major. I got 3 things on my agenda, but we'll do one for tonight, and we'll postpone the next one to our next show.
Aha! But you know, that moment you're so yes, Putu Apoemo Association in America. I'm so right there. Kalu you want so to one national group to besta. National President Prosper Quincy Rule. So I did two. Mama. Martina go. Tina Bewe Yabo, Bedles, I won't play your yada wago. Man, that's why you want your papa. You can my own my penny. Mamma boy, you get up at the I never I say one way. I will get to tell you at the other. I will be your liver. Emmanuel, go. Aha, Secretary. I will my get you. I will put right here. I know you are Mama. You want me by day? You want get them more you want to never goes to walk out road treasure where treasure Mama do your low. I get never where she best up the wall where Financial Secretary. Aye, Adeabuka. Ademawe. Money no one by Yade. You might get Ganadan Kayabuka de Mabina. Mawu Yada Wabu Maduaya. Apuevo you, Yolo. Hayawene. Reverend Daniel Wallow. Chaplain. I supply a day again. Chaplain, the blow a day, you don't know what the blow a day on the Yoga. Ayaw. Dina's room. Where's Lele? Sawa Mama. I demand some $7 or some Mao. James Huberte, National President, Frankie Association in America. Aye. Honorable George Weah, Labro Ambassador to the US. I say, we have to get him on Suma. So, can one day you go, can one day you go, can one day you go, the one you know that. We're more than your brother, you see it. No, be Tanya, maybe I won't delay you back. And you will not play with a second piece, I won't delay you by on the power. And we'll play with you. For Rimbo boys, you want Kaifale, Bochema, Apple Monso, Abibati, Breakfast, you day. Go Channel, Mama, so I do. Esther Selling, David. So. Esayo Fale. Apose Monzo. Maise Dale. Anya. So. Ema wo. Party. I'm leader. God when there's a Monzo do bewa. Apole Butu Association in America. Asawo. Aye. When on Rupe. I'm sorry, I Monzo. I'm set. That's me. Akwemwe o. Tommy Paul. Yeah, vida mo. Anu mama mo so. Seli wale. Ka enda o la no be. Hablo guaya. Haya wene bla. Chibeza we abu. Sim Kape, Minnesota president. We get him on so. You get to all me na. Amanya we no. Sima, ayi o blenyo. George Weah, best evident president. You got Glenn mo Granabo. No you go Granade mo Granabo. George Weah be a jeti yo. Pe ma nu yo ne gbe kalu wa bi yo. Aya wene. Was there mo kalu wa we a o. Ayi wa president. Opo egbe mo so. Joseph Kabe. New England president. Asawo. No yazemu ande wura yazia. Maya we abrana biire. Maya be ti tema tiyo. Yo yo kwande ya de mani ye. Enya wi monga. Maya di nya ri ayi wura nyu tonga. Aye na go ya na wo. Kaja wo. Eric Bay. Rhode Island president. Asawo. Pueblo, Nacho. Yo sé, pueblo. Yes, yo. Anu mama super. Superstar way yo. Mio Selim. I'm a say. Arrested Sia. Aye. Level investment. National care. Abia kwa imonso. Esau Sargbe.
Great, ladies and gentlemen. Let's show on the Voice of Sinoe. We want to just discuss one major item tonight. It's a breaking news, so we can't go to bed without sharing the breaking news with you. I will have 3 items again on my agenda for tonight, but I'm not going to go with all three. We're going to just talk about one major one on the platform, and then the next 2 things will be postponed to our next show. So we want to welcome all of you to the Voice of Sinoe. Those are following the show right now. Please share with your friends. This is very interesting. It's a breaking news, so I can't keep the breaking news up to tomorrow. You have to be in the know. You got to be part of the breaking news. All right, so wonderful people again. Welcome to all of you. You see, let me flip the thing around quickly. You see, the Voice of Sinoe is the voice of the people in the diaspora in Sinoe County. And so if I get the information relative to the people of Sinoe County, I cannot keep it and sleep on it. And so I have to give you a tip of the iceberg tonight. You see, those who have been following the Voice of Sinoe, we have the United Sapota Association in Americas, one of the best organizations in these United States. But over the past 2 to 3 months, there have been issues or rising tension within the organization. And it is my obligation as the conduit of information dissemination to bring everything to you, so that you can know who is the father of commotion within the organization. And initially, what I do is when the information, when the so-called big people, when they discuss the issue, we tend to keep it beyond the same. And we thought that the guys would be reasonable enough to address issue professionally. But when the people that we empower to do our work, if they will not be honest with us, they will not keep their words, especially the words that they put on paper. When they can't keep their word, then it is obligatory for Dr. Sayapura Esoteric to bring the information to the public, and so that you can be the judges, okay? Because beyond the scene, again, they cannot agree. The leaders cannot agree. But looking at it from the impartial, the disinterested lenses of Dr. Sayapura, I think one side is wrong. And I'm not thinking the way I'm thinking because I love certain people in the union. I love all of my people. I love the United Support Association. I love the people of Sinoe County. I love the people of Grand Gidi. I love the people of, all the counties in Liberia and Africa at large. On the other hand, if something is going wrong, I cannot say because I love you, so I cannot tell you the truth. Okay? The National Administration of the United Support Association in America, the guys led by the former president, the guys are profoundly wrong. They are proceeding erroneously. And I will not be quiet until the guys succumb to the voice of truth. And so what brought Dr. Sayapura out here this late? Well, a couple of things, but I will give you just one. I got this new audio from the meeting that was held today between the board of directors and the National Executive Committee, which was convened by the Elders Council. Okay? And so we're going to play that new audio to you tonight. That's the only thing on the agenda. We're going to play the tape. So I call that the former president, Geleo, versus the chairman of the board of directors, Mr. Esau Sargbe. Okay? So you're going to hear from the two leaders of our organization, and you decide. Also, while they are talking, I will be breaking in the middle to make some points, to clarify things, because that's what Voice of Sinoe is here for. I'm not just here to play the voices of the people, and I don't give my analysis. So I'm here to factorize what the guys say and put it in context for you for easy consumption. Okay, and that's what I'm here for. And so tonight I call this, but before I go into the major thing that I want to discuss from that play a little bit in what I call the speculation room. The speculation room, what is in the speculation room of VOSD? Well, what is in the speculation room is disturbing, okay? It is disturbing. And it is disturbing because it has to do with finances. It has to do with the money of the United Support Association in America's, our bank account, our purse. So before I divulge that, because it is important, it has the proclivity to put our union as sana. Therefore, I will classify that as a breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora with Dr. Sayapura Esoteric, coming to you live from Prospect Park, Pennsylvania, these United States of America. The breaking news are coming into the speculation room of Voice of Sinoe in the Diaspora says that President Geleo purportedly, okay, that's a key word, purportedly transferred USAA's money into an unknown account. President Geleo purportedly transferred USAA's money into an unknown account. Okay? That's the breaking news that's coming into the speculation room of Voice of Sinoe. Well, you know, again, when the information is in the speculation room, there is a vast dose of truism to the information. The only thing that we are lacking is the corroborating evidence. But this one, the speculation that we are giving you right now, the information emanated from the audio that I have in my possession. But I'm looking for further evidence to substantiate the veracity of the information divulged by the Honorable Chairman of the Board of Directors of the United Disciples Association. In the honorable statement today between the Board of Directors and the National Executive Committee, the Honorable Chairman said unofficial. The information is unofficial, meaning that they have not gotten the evidence. But in as much as Voice of Sound, in as much it comes to the speculation room of Voice of Sound, we have to also tell you, the people, your hard-earned money, okay? You pay your $5, you pay your whatever amount, time for convention, you pay your $100 or whatever the people will charge you. But the information that are coming to us right now, the guy who was ousted by the Constitution has transferred your money from your account to an unknown account, an account that wasn't endorsed by you, the General Assembly. The people of the United Disciples Association, we are told that Green Code Geleo and his team, they have put our money in an unknown account. You got to keep this in mind. President Geleo doesn't report to us. When he reports, as a matter of fact, the information is always questionable. For example, President Geleo recently went to Liberia without the approval of the Board of Directors, went in the account and took $7,000. When he returned to the United States, he made a report. The report is incomplete. The financial portion of the report is missing. So we don't know what he did with the $7,000 that he took illegally. The Honorable President of the United Disciples Association, also the Board of Directors, they approved $10,000 for our people to get COVID relief package, to get a package for our people in the middle of the virus. The money wasn't delivered to the people. We are not getting a financial report. What did President Geleo do with the money? We don't know. And so when it comes to money, we do not trust the administration of President Geleo. There is lack of financial transparency, or every aspect of the man's administration is questionable. And so we have every reason to be incredulous of the president's activity. We have to doubt practically everything, giving the avalanche of reasons that he gave us to doubt his activities. Before this financial issue we are talking about, the president first trip to Liberia, the Board of Directors he requested $12,000 to go to Liberia. The board saw in their wisdom, they said no, that amount was too exorbitant, and therefore they gave him $3,000 in keeping with prior precedent that was set. And so they gave him $3,000. The members of the union, they went together, they put the raised fund to facilitate the trip of the president. Whether the money comes from our account or not, once a dime is given to you as a leader, you must be accountable to the people. Tell us what you did with the money. The donation that was made, the individual membership contributions to facilitate the president's trip to Liberia, he did not make a report to us. So I can go on and give you instances where when it comes to money, the Geleo's administration is vastly on a question mark. We can't trust the man. And so the information that is coming into the speculation room of Voice of Sinoe, we cannot ignore it. It cannot be something that we can overlook. There is an iota of truth, if not gigantic, a dose of truth to it. Now, that being said, I want to now give you, for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, to put the two leaders together here and listen to them. Esau Sargbe This man right here, if you don't know him, let me share the pictures so you can see the leaders. So this is Green Geleo, and the former president who refused to relinquish power. That's Green Geleo. And this is Honorable Esau Sargbe, who is the chairman of the board of directors, who are calling to at least, based on my reading of the Constitution, who is still protected by the Constitution. This is Esau Sargbe right here. And so these two gentlemen, the Elders Council, they convened a meeting today. I think it was a 3rd or 4th, whatever. They called a meeting before, and the executive, the guys are intransigent. They don't listen to the other people. We have an Geleo who considers himself as the Ayatollah of the Sapo nation, and so he doesn't listen to other people. So Green Geleo and the chairman of the board today, the elders gave them the opportunity to address them. The elders began with their statement, and they said that, guys, we make some recommendations to give you some guidelines in the past, but it seems that you guys are not working together. What is going on? We want to hear from the both of you. And so the president was given the opportunity to address first the body. Okay, so let's get to the audio here for you, so we can all listen to it, and then you can make your own judgment. Let me see. Let me see what I can get to here.
Opening with a word of prayer. For this prayer, I ask Reverend.
So that's the introduction. The chairman of the Elders Council is Elder John Weah. He's the one that's talking right now. He's asking for invocation, okay, for somebody to pray.
That's your financing talent, to please lead us in our opening prayer.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Amen. First, I want to thank God for good health to be together as a family again. It's a blessing. And so, Father, we thank you, oh God, for keeping us through this pandemic. We thank you, Holy Spirit, for your presence on this line at this time. We do not take this moment lightly, oh God. We appreciate you. Now, God, we call on you that your peace will abound.
Yeah.
That, Lord God, you will help us to see that even though we are being marginalized by other societies,
Yeah.
but that our own division will not destroy us. Thank you, Father. Thank you for the vision that we may come together and make a foundation on which we will stand as a community to help our people.
Yeah.
Now, Holy Spirit, as we are about to get into the discussion, we come against all spirits of confusion and we cast them out in the name of Jesus. Any form of distraction, oh God, right now we bound your power in the name of Jesus. And we thank you, Lord, that peace will abound. In Jesus' name. Amen. And amen.
Now, after the magnificent prayer from Mr. Reverend Dr. Fallison, I don't know, apparently God did not listen. And so the floor was given to the former national president, George Weah, again. Let's get into that. So apparently when the pastor was praying, maybe God was sleeping. All right, this is what happened here.
Amen. Brother, we thank you for that prayer. Somebody enter. Cross stopping?
Yeah.
Okay, Cross, you are number 20. Okay, we want to take this time to say, first of all, we ask our step general.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of low. I don't know where I'm outside.
Amen. I say we are grateful to God this morning to have begun this meeting. We thank God for our General Secretary, Reverend Esau, and we ask him to please take the minutes at this time as we commence our work. I want to welcome you all, the members of the board,
so guys, instead of
members of the executive.
Instead of boring you with the preliminary, let me go back. Let me forward the stuff and get to a speech straight to the speeches. Let's see what I can get to the first person.
So the Support Association of the American this week, yes, but we have already and then posting.
Yeah, and then at the last, we'll give a panel statement of the beginning. I'll give the answer to get a statement of my views on the issue. You know, I don't know why.
Yeah. And instead of you being the first time, at this time, I would like to present our purpose of the meeting. Well, gentlemen, yes.
Okay, let's hear the purpose. Let's hear the purpose of the meeting.
Yes, I'm running my phone. Concerned about what with the agenda?
Yes, sir. Okay, what's the agenda? I mean, we can't go by the agenda. The agenda will be accepted. I propose that I'm going to be probably give a more of the things. So let's show them that. Then I okay with it. Yeah. So I just a little bit of you.
Okay, what is the concern? What is the concern? We are for peace. As I look at the agenda, as happened, oh yeah, we.
You mean that you have that prepared statement? So the statement is not prepared, and you are waiting for people.
We give.
This is what I'm not going to show. Now you have a position statement. There's a welcome remarks. Let us not make that position. We're not asking you our concern. So we talk about if you want to respond to something that we have not presented. We hope present.
Hey, give me a second, guys. I want to get to that portion quickly.
I want to thank you all for coming. As Reverend Bob mentioned, we are not to be the association. But we take the tour of this meeting today, and we ask you to discuss. Thank you.
Okay, this time we are expressing our purpose for this meeting. I think our adults
from North Dakota.
Sorry?
Make peace in our community. I would say thank you. Executive members that are on the conference.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to President Geleo. He's now on the floor. Let me put a picture here, and I will be engaging with the president here. Let me put the picture over here, and we can have a conversation with him. Excuse me, guy.
To all members of the board that are on the conference, to all of you on the elders who are relentlessly doing your work to make peace in our community, I would say thank you. This morning we came on this conference believing that we can make progress. Yes. And that we can admit and we will. Because
so number one, the first thing the president said, we are on the meeting believing that we made progress. Okay, that when you said that, hopefully I was optimistic. I just thought we would have gotten something better from him. But listen,
better way, in a similar way, the way peace negotiation works, when people are able to admit the wrongdoing and apologize. Apologizing, by better definition, is not guilt. It's not meeting expectation.
And this is what, again, the premise, the foundation of the president, I thought he was heading in the right direction. Or maybe to apologize to the board of directors for going in our account unconstitutionally without getting the board of directors approval. I just thought of all the infractions that the board of directors they listed, the guys before, when they asked him that, Mr. President, your term over, they didn't just give him words. The guys gave him a list of infractions that he committed. Okay, the president did not debunk one of those infractions. And so I just thought he would have made it easy for himself today and say, you know what, I will apologize and we'll move forward. But Green is not doing that. His beginning comments will be radically different from the content, from the meat of his message, of his speech. Listen.
That's a minute of apologies. So I know most of us, we're holding back when it's time to apologize if something is not right. We don't want to apologize so they can show our weakness. But no, it's not weakness. It's not even guilt. It means you have not met expectation. But
as far as I know, President Geo hasn't met expectation. Not an inch of our expectation. Not an inch. But he is good at playing the victim card. He always puts the other man on the other hand or the other man on the other side. He seems like everybody, the war is against him. All right? And so he is the perfect man. And the other guys are the boogeymen. All right? Listen.
Let me again explain to you the headers. Those of us from the respective background, we want to do everything we can every day, making sure that at least we can live within the confines of what our parents told us. Be respectful, be humble.
You see, humanity does not call for ignoring the other people. You got a document that calls the Constitution. It sets the chain of command. It gives the job description of each body. But if you don't listen to the other people, and you are talking about respect, your parents gave you good orientation. It might have been right. The president may have been right. The parents, so now they can give her good education, good upbringing, and we deviate from what they say or what they taught us. So the president practically deviated from what he is saying. The respect that he is talking about. He is the leader of the United Cyprus Association in Americas. And so if your foundation is respect, and people from your side, they are consistently insulting other people, as far as insulting the elders, and then you say your foundation is respect, and you allow people to insult elders, and you are not saying your word, then it raises eyebrows for us when you talk about you were raised to be respectful. When people are following you as a leader and those people are impudent, they are insolent, they are rude basically, and you are not disciplined of people, then we question your foundation of the respect, the veneration, or the principle of veneration that you say your parent taught you. It's questionable. Your words should be consistent with what you do. The president's words are polar opposite to what he does. Let me get to this. Sorry, I was talking and I lost this quickly. Let me get.
I can tell you that 95.99% of the time, the Executive Committee has been very cooperative and respectful to all of you.
This statement is not true. 99.99% cooperative. That is not true. If that is true, you wouldn't go to Liberia without getting the board of directors' approval and keep it with the Constitution. Your term was over per the Constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's look at the Constitution for a second here. I don't like to say stuff without giving you constitutional reference. Let's look at number 1, for example. Section 1, let me see, kind of a little bit far away here. So there should be Article 23 of the Constitution here, and Section 1.1, or let you look at Section Article 21 first. Let's look at that. Yeah, let's look at 21 first. I'm jumping here. I don't want to give you the wrong provision. I don't want to give you the wrong provision in the Constitution. I want to be correct. So this is Article this 10. It's 19 of the Constitution. 19. Okay, so 20. That's 20. I'm jumping here. So let's look at Article 20, Section 1.10. Each chapter shall contribute the amount. No, that's the one I want. The National Convention of will be held in. Okay, they gave in April, but that was redacted. The date and the host chapter of the National Convention shall be determined by the General Assembly sitting in convention. The National Convention shall be rotational and hosted by a chapter. All right, this one is very important with respect to where the convention should go. You will listen to the president later. He was talking about taking the convention somewhere else. All right, and the Constitution is saying here, Article 21 of the Constitution, a national convention will be held in April, but now it's in August. This portion was amended in August each year. The date and host chapter of the convention shall be determined by the General Assembly sitting in convention. Okay, that provision of the Constitution, Green does not respect this portion. That's one. And they say let's come to Article 22 now, turning of office. Okay, all elected executive officers shall serve the association for a period of 3 years, but not more than 2 consecutive terms. All right, all executive. That's a board of directors here. Listen to this. They say all executive officers, which includes the president, the vice president, the secretary, and all the people that are working with him. All elected executive officers shall serve the association for a period of 3 years, but not more than 2 consecutive terms. That means they can go 6 years, okay? That's the Constitution. So August last year, Green term was over. He is no longer the president per the Constitution. All right. I just want to point out something before I go to some of the things you about to say. He will not give you one constitutional provision to back up what he's saying. Nothing, because nothing in the Constitution covers him. Now, let me give you something else here. Let me give you something quickly. The Constitution of the United States Association also says here, Article that's 1516 of the Constitution to say the national president shall, with the consent of the board of directors, appoint the chairpersons and members of all standing and ad hoc committees. All such executive appointees shall serve at the will of the pleasure of the president, right? That's what they say. The national president shall, with the consent, that means with the agreement of the board of directors, with the approval of the board of directors, President Geo appointed electoral commission without going through this process. That's another violation of the Constitution. Let me give you something else here again. Under the same provision, Article 16, Section 1.8, the national president shall recommend and forward names of all standing and standing committee to the National Board of Directors for approval. That's the Constitution talking here. Green did not do that. It's another infraction. It's another violation of the Constitution. Let's go on here again. The Constitution says, in the same Article 16, it says here, 1.10, the board of directors shall take charge of the association in the event that the first three heads of the association, the president, the vice president, and the general secretary, are incapacitated. That's the Constitution talking. Last year, August, President Geleo tenure was over. But what that means is constitutionally, he has been rendered incapacitated. He cannot lead anymore. So the Constitution says, in such situation, the board should take charge. The board of directors shall take charge of the association in the event that the first three persons or heads, the quality of the association, the president, the vice president, and the general secretary are incapacitated. Okay? So this is what we call constitutional incapacitation. All right? So the president is not covered by the Constitution. Let me give you another provision. There's a reason why I'm doing this. Before you listen to the audio. Another provision from the Constitution, Article 15, here 14 actually, it says 3.1, all directors shall be elected to serve their required and stipulated term. However, the term may be extended until a successor has been elected. Okay, I'll read that again. All directors shall be elected to serve their required term, a required and stipulated term. However, the term may be extended until a successor has been elected. So what that means is the board of directors, they can serve their required term, which is 3 years or 4 years according to the Constitution. But the Constitution also provides that before these guys leave office, their successors, the people that will take their place, should be elected first. As far as we are concerned, the board of directors of the United Cyprus Association, their successors have not been elected yet. Therefore, they are still covered by the Constitution. President Geleo will tell us and say that the board of directors and the National Executive Committee, their time is over the same time, which is not true. And he is referring to the North Dakota resolution, one of them. After all, he doesn't respect all the resolutions for North Dakota. He took the provision that says that all elected officers should go for election last year. That's what one of the provisions said. But that provision, that resolution does not abrogate the provision in the Constitution, which says that when the board of directors, when their successor have not yet been elected, they still said they are still in charge of the Constitution. That resolution does not erase it. It does not negate the provision in the Constitution. No. But President Geleo wrong with one resolution for North Dakota, and the other resolution he will not follow them. For example, one of the resolutions from North Dakota says that next convention should go to Florida. President Geleo right now is saying he doesn't want to go to Florida. But then he taking one resolution out of context and doing cherry picking. That's one I want to read to you. Another one here to say, protecting the board of directors. Two provisions they give us here. The term of office shall be considered to begin January 1st and end December 31st of the third year in office. This will change to 4 years, okay? Unless the term is extended. They repeat that again. Unless the term is extended until at such time a successor has been elected, okay? The successor of the board, the current board, the successors have not yet been elected. Hence, the guys are still protected by the Constitution. I want to give you something here, and we'll get to that. Another provision in the Constitution, the top of powers. The powers are 2.1. In the absence of the General Assembly, all corporate powers shall be exercised by or under the authority of the board, and the affairs of the United Cyprus Association in Americas shall be managed under the direction of the board, except as otherwise provided by these bylaws. That's the Constitution of the United Cyprus Association. The document that President Geleo took oath to protect and defend, now that he is not obeying. All right, that's one. I just want to give you another one. Enough provisions in the Constitution. The General Assembly, according to our Constitution, This is Article 12 of the Constitution, General Assembly. The General Assembly shall be the highest and final decision-making body of the association. All decisions of the body shall be binding on all members and chapters of the association. All members of the General Assembly shall comprise of all due-paying members of the association. All right? This provision, Green does not respect. That's why he's not going to North Dakota. Because they say the decision of the General Assembly, they are binding on all. All right? They are binding. Green now wants to take the convention somewhere else. So it means that Geo does not respect the provision. Okay? All right. So those are some of the provisions I want to share with you. Let's get to the real audio now so you can hear what Green is telling us. With all the provisions that I just read, not one that protected the president. Okay? Let me get back to the tape now.
We started adjourning after the convention was not possible. As president of the union, we called a meeting in April to inform the citizens of the several communities in America that it's not possible. What we are saying is not possible to hold a convention. In that meeting, our team was over Reverend Usaa, who suggested that we are still in April. It's not possible to make a decision now.
You see, the man is using suggestion in a meeting, okay? People, when you come to meeting, people make suggestions and make recommendations. The man is using people's recommendation that Reverend Usaa suggested. And so that's a suggestion of that's why President Geo wants to go with brushing the Constitution on the side. If Reverend Usaa gives his opinion, that does not supersede the Constitution.
Geleo, in May of 2020, as president, I reconvened the National Teleconference. In the National Teleconference, we all agreed that it's not possible with the situation going on. The death is commanded from the coronavirus. It's not possible to hold a convention. Well, some parties are not satisfied, believing that the executive will stay in power, and it's not right. Even though the coronavirus was not made by the executive committee. We went to the first meeting called by you, the editor, on August 1st.
Nobody said the virus was generated by the executive committee, by the way. Nobody made such argument. So he pulls things here and there just to make a bogus argument.
2020. In that meeting, he proposed that we all work together during the crisis period until 2021 election.
Okay, that we all work together. That's key phrase there, that we all work together. So when you and somebody working together, you got to listen to each other. That's what it means, right? That's how I understand it. If we are working together, we must understand, we must be on the same page. That's what it means. That's how I understand it. I might be wrong, but working together, if I'm working with, say, for example, Mr. Milton Sargbe, we must be on the same page. Okay? Come on, this stuff.
That was agreed upon. On August 6th, another meeting was called by you, the editor. In that meeting, we all agreed again that we should work together as members of the executive and the board of directors. Well, the chairman of the board of directors came into that meeting with a different view, different versions of what we agreed to. The chairman said, the board of directors should step aside, the executive should step aside, and the president of all chapters should be in charge of the union. The other council should be responsible to conduct the election. Those are many more of his suggestion.
We got to make something clear. Why did the board make that decision? The chairman of the board of directors, why did he say that? It is because, Mr. President, you say your premise was the people said we should work together. But the people were trying to work with you and you are not listening to them. They make many recommendations, which I cannot delineate right now because of time constraint. I got all the documents here. The people saying you many communication that you did not even honor. And so multiple times they made recommendations to you and you are not listening to them. And they say, okay, we're trying to work with you. Since you are not covered by the Constitution, we're trying to broker a deal because the corona, like you rightly said, it wasn't brought by you. And so we all try to work together. But since you are not listening to us and you are not covered by the Constitution, we're going to work with the various leaders or the president of the various chapters to get us to convention because the Constitution protects us. And those various chapter presidents, they are still protected by the Constitution. And therefore, we work with them to get to convention.
That derailed the progress that was made for the first place. I'm just giving you this message this morning, how this started, and what caused this problem. We also agree on purpose, an agreement that all of us in our meeting, that existing projects we have should be implemented, but no new project. That's a reasonable argument. We also agree. Well, the dedications of the Nurses Quarter.
The agreement, again, we have all the documents. The agreement that was made, the elders broke up the deal. The only thing that they agreed upon was the Nurses Quarter. It was already on the way. So they said that the remaining balance should be given to the president. After that, nobody should go into the account to take money until we get new leadership. That was the stipulation of the contract. They didn't say you should implement all projects. This is a fallacy. That whatever the president said was fallacious. It's not true.
And Juarzon was never a new project. So guys, we left with 13 human beings to go to Sinoe. So as I speak to you, I'm not the president of the union. According to the board of directors, they have dismissed us. We went to Liberia, 13%, risked their lives, sacrificed for the United States Association. While we were in Liberia, on April 6th,
so you got to understand this, though. The president went to Liberia, yes, with 13%. Those 13% were not authorized by the General Assembly of the United States Association. The president himself wasn't authorized by the General Assembly, none the board of directors. They didn't approve that. The president took the money, like I said, illegally from the account. From North Dakota Convention, there was a resolution that says that the president should submit a budget or a voucher to the board of directors. If the voucher or the budget is not approved within 2 weeks, the budget is considered automatically approved. The president submitted his budget to the board of directors, and the board said, Mr. President, because of the pandemic right now, we have a lot of things going on. We'll give you the first $10,000. You did not give a count of 8. And you want us to give you $7,000. We can't do that until you account for the first money we'll give you. Okay? They wrote the man, they sent him a communication the next day when you send out that voucher. The only time the president point would have been valid if the guy had not replied within 2 weeks. Then you can take the money. Then it will be constitutional. But the guys replied the next day and they said, no, we are not giving you approval. And you still went against what the guy said, the board said. Now the president is now crying foul and saying, oh, Esau Sargbe said our election commission is not part of his job description. But sir, the Constitution also gave the board of directors responsibilities. And one of their responsibilities is that when you submit your budget, they should approve it before you can take the money. You did not listen to the guy. You took the money. So you went you are doing the guy's work. You are disrespecting the people. Even though you started your statement with saying, we must respect each other. So the president took 13 persons to Liberia without the approval of the General Assembly, without the approval of the board of directors. He took the money so that he can facilitate those people that he carried.
At that time, we would like to call.
Sorry, guys.
At that time.
Oh man, I jumped. Sorry, guys. Let me get to that quickly. I jumped.
At that time, we would like to call.
What is it doing that? Sorry. Stop doing that. Stop that.
At that time, we would like to call this meeting to order. And we do so by.
Why is it doing that?
At that time, we would like to call this meeting to order.
Together and make a fund.
This time, at the goal of united.
Exactly.
Honorable. So that is the agenda.
Of the statement.
And the motion. The statement is and up.
And what we have to present a position
Confirmation.
to find that we cannot have
Three.
the progress toward us. And the coronavirus was not made by the executive committee. We went to the first meeting called by you, the header, on August 1st, 2020. With a different views, different versions of what we had started, and what caused this problem. We also agreed on purpose, had agreement by all of us in our meeting that existing projects we have should be implemented, but no new project. That's a reasonable argument. We also agree. Well, the dedications of the nurses quarter in Johnson was never a new project. So guys, we left with 13 more days to go to Sinoe.
We got to make this clear. It wasn't approved in North Dakota. There is no provision for North Dakota that says that the president should go to Liberia to delegate nurses quarter. And there is nothing. The General Assembly only approved $30,000 for one nurses quarter. It didn't say that the president should be sent to Liberia to go break ground or to dedicate nurses quarter. They only say we want one nurses quarter, $30,000. That's it. Okay? The president came and started doing his own thing. He wants to go break ground in Liberia. He wants money and not that.
So as I speak to you, I'm not the president of the union, according to the board of directors.
No, not according to the board of directors, according to the Constitution. I just read the Constitution. Your term was expired last year, August. So not the board of directors. You got to be that made that correction.
They have dismissed us. We went to Liberia, 13%.
The board of directors did not dismiss President Geleo. It's the Constitution that his Secretary General wrote, that his publicity chairman wrote, that his project man wrote, that the Constitution says your time is over. Not the board of directors. They didn't expel you. We got to make that clear to our people.
Raise their lives, sacrifice for the United States Association. While we were in Liberia, on April 6th, April 5th, we have written a letter. The board of directors, while we were in Liberia, on a mission assigned to us by you, the General Assembly, they wrote a letter that we are no longer in power. Before the speech, the letter came to Nigeria. I'm no longer the president. The letter, they don't want to stop there.
You see, the man is struggling, trying to put his words together. He's struggling what to say. Okay? You see, when somebody is not saying the truth, they struggle.
They also sent a letter for our banking institution, Wells Fargo. Now, Wells Fargo, as for today, I want to inform you that Mr. Geleo is no more signatory to the account. Mr. Otika Soy is no more signatory to the account. Mr. Daramoy is no more signatory to the account. So let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen of the country, which one among you tonight, on this morning, on this conference, among you have seen what I call coup detach?
All right, before we go to coup detach, the word is not coup detach, but let's talk about this. The president said the board of directors, they wrote communication to the financial institution that we are banking with. And they said that Green Code GU is no longer legitimate. The financial secretary is no longer legitimate, and they didn't say financial officers. Okay, and the board they got the point for which they did that. Again, let me repeat: the board of directors, according to the Constitution, they have the right to approve money. Okay, not President Geleo. Let me give you something here. Let's go to the finance section quickly, so we can know what the organization says when it comes to money. I want to show you that quickly. It's right here. I highlighted it already. Let me get to it quickly here. Sorry, I'm making a lot of noise in your ear, in your ears here. Let me get to the finance board of directors. Nana board. I don't want that. What it says about money. Secretary, money. The money I want right now. I'm looking for money. Money. Give me. Let's share with the people. Let them know that document. All right. Banking and policy. Okay. Money. It says that the Constitution says of the United States Association, all funding that is $500 or less shall be approved by the national president, or at the local chapter level, the local president shall approve of the amount. All funding that is $500 or less, all right? Anything $500 is the maximum that the president can take, all right? Without the involvement of the board, $500 or less, okay? That's why it says it. Let me go to the next one here. It also says that all funding requests shall be submitted by a budget that must be discussed if at the local chapter. So all financial budget should be, all funding will be accompanied by a budget. Okay, you must submit a budget. They also say here, it also says, the next provision here, hopefully I don't miss it, Anita, it's very important. The National Convention, August. Okay, that's the updated one. So the next one, it says that any amount above $500 must be approved by the board of directors. That's why it says that. President Geleo, on numerous occasions, took more than $500 from our account. Occasion number one, now in specific order. President Geleo took $2,500 and give it to Madam Dorothy Shadman. $2,500. That is above $500. $2,500 and give it to Madam Dorothy Shadman without the board approval. That's violation number one. Number two, the board did not approve the president's trip to Liberia, the $7,000. But he took the money, however. The board, this time around, they approved $10,000. No accountability for that $10,000. Okay. The board, again, they approved during the death of the late Mobutu. The board and the executive, they met and they agreed that they should send from the board one representative, from the executive one representative. And they approved some money. I think 3,000 each. The board representative at the time they selected was Madam Kalejabeli to go from the board. And then the president designated his former vice president, Mr. Gosted Taffin. The president, when they withdrew the $3,000 for the executive representative, but they refused to give the board representative the amount, the $3,000. What did he do with it? We don't know. He didn't make report on that. Okay? And so against this background with all these infractions, the board said, you know what? The communication right, they listed a lot of things that the president did. And against the background, they say, you know what, we'll have to notify the financial institution before they got finish our money. And that's how they wrote the bank, to protect the finances of the institution. Is that a bad thing? No. If they give you money, you are not giving account of that money. Why should you have access to the account? You are not trustworthy anymore. And that's why. So the guy is trying to make the board to look bad so he can be the good one. But the records are here. We can't. The record, the President Geleo can counter what I'm saying right now. Let me bring a counter argument. I got all the document with me here.
Which one among you this morning I've seen in military what is called maintenance? Which one? A military maintenance a report against you by the officer, one charge. And the code charge is overthrow the legitimate government.
Okay, number one, the word legitimate is not for President Geleo. He is illegitimate because his term was expired last year. So he's illegitimate. All right? That you see, you gotta apply the word, especially when Dr. Ayupuda is listening, because I'm a locophile. I'm a lover of words. And so when you use the word, I will go to the etymology of that word. I will go to the history of the word, where it came from. I will do my research. And so you can say you are legitimate, and the Constitution is telling us, no, since last year, you were given 3 years. You were elected 2017 in Durham, North Carolina. Do your math. 17, 18, 19, 20. We are in 2021. And the man say, I'm illegitimate. By virtue of what are you legitimate? By virtue of what? By virtue of somebody's opinion or by virtue of the Constitution? Which one? The people broke our deal. You don't want to listen to the others. You don't want to listen to the board of directors. But you are saying, I'm illegitimate. By virtue of what? Tell me, sir. If the supporters of the president follow me, the number is at the bottom of the line there. Call me and tell me by virtue of what is the president legitimate. Are we governed by a constitution or by the opinion of people?
Which one among you have seen that? Well, when we fell nice, they go to Sinoe County. For your sake, why would they do something?
No, the president went there for his own sake. For his own, because when you are going to Liberia, you say, I want to break morale. So he went there for a morale breaking trip. That's what he was on the telephone. There will be a morale for us. So he went there and broke morale. He broke morale. You took the money and went and have fun. So you didn't go there for our sake. You went there for your own sake, to have fun.
But before we went to Liberia, we did what was required by Constitution. We raised the budget to the board of directors to be approved in the amount of $7,236.28. That amount covered the president $8,000. $2,000 will be used for transportation for those men and women who sacrificed in their organization, paying their own way from here to Liberia, so that it's not a separate association that can at least transport them to our destination in Sinoe County. I think it's a fair game. The board, refused to approve approve the budget. But because of the constitutional clauses that bind us to make a withdrawal, we took out the money.
So the president just told you that they took the money from the account, $7,500 and some more dollars. And he said constitutional clause. Notice the president did not cite the constitutional clause or clauses that he's talking about. And the reason he did not cite it, there is no constitutional clause that in there, in the Constitution, that says that when the board of directors refuse to approve your budget, you should go in the account and take money. There is no clause in the Constitution that says that. But he said, you know what? We send a budget, and the board of directors, they refused to sign the budget. And so I went in the account and took the money. Again, what is your backing for that? What backs you to take the money? This is corruption. This is broad day embezzlement. And I cannot be on the back of Senator Milton TJ of Sinoe County, and I allow President Geleo to do the same thing here. And I'll be quiet. No, injustice anywhere is the threat to justice everywhere, and that's what Dr. came to us. And I agree with him. You cannot be inflicting injustice on the people, and Dr. Ayopo will be quiet. Oh, they call me Dr. Ayopo for a reason. I'm the first in every good thing, not bad things. And so I will say it. If somebody is saying and listening to me and say Dr. Ayopo is trying to divide the Support Association in America into two factions or different factions, so be it. But I'm not going to be on mute when Green is proceeding wrongly, erroneously, or ethically. No, I'm not going to be quiet. I'm going to say it. If the board of directors are wrong, I'm going to say it. For the general said the board of directors, when they were proceeding unconstitutionally, I came here and I told the guys, do not broker or deal outside the circumference of the Constitution. They didn't listen to me. And now they are coming back to what Dr. Ayopo said. They want to now follow the Constitution. And Green Geleo now said, oh, I don't want to follow the Constitution. Let's get outside the Constitution. No, we got to go in here with document. And that's the reason why we wrote it. There is a reason why we wrote the Constitution. It cannot be brushed aside. It cannot be brushed aside. So President Geleo is talking about mutiny. He's talking about coup d'etat. He said coup d'etat. The word is not coup d'etat. Coup d'etat is a French word. Another word for that is called putsch. P-U-S-T-C-H. That's another fancy word for it. So there is no coup d'etat, whatever you call it. There is no coup d'etat, Mr. President, because number one, you are outside the circumference, outside the bracket of the Constitution. That's number one. Number two, we do not have anybody that rebel against you here. No military officer. You're talking about military and all of that. We don't have no Boy Scout. Boy Scouts, we don't have it. Before we will have police officer to overthrow somebody. So you guys, you take a language and you just throw it around frivolously. You're flipping with the language. You just grab a word because it sounds good and you pull it around. Oh no, the follower of contemporary words. The man who loves words is here. And he's from the Sapo land too. You see how the gods of our forefathers, not the Jewish God you worship though. Not the biblical one. The father, the God of our people. From Trabawin, from Juarzon. The God of our people from Putu Mountain. That's the God I'm talking about here. The God of our ancestors. They empower me to come and tell you the truth when you are wrong. And I'm telling you now, you need to alter course, Geleo. You are wrong. The lone voice in the Murrah Wilderness Sinoe County is telling you you are wrong. And I will insist that you kowtow to the demand of the Murrah one. I'm the sage of Sinoe County, the wise one. And I'm telling you consistently. So if you carry this anywhere, the people will come a genuine flag to the great man, Dr. Ayopo the Esoteric. Because I talk not with mere words. I talk with indubitable evidence, something that you cannot doubt. And you say, you know, but we'll speak the big word now. You're talking about mutiny. Mutiny? In a not-for-profit organization, you're talking about mutiny? What are you talking about, President Geleo? Why you guys just play with language like that? Just to bamboozle our people. Just to get our people discombobulated. Use all the weird words that you don't understand. You don't know the etymology, the root of these words. You just throw them around. Who is revolting against somebody here? If somebody says, sir, in the Constitution, the document that you took oath to defend, the document says that your time is over, and you call that mutiny? That's a wrong application of that word. And you can't do so. You can't do so. That's a linguistical suicide you are committed here. And I will say it. You can't do that. You cannot decapitate the Queen's language. I'm a defender of truth. I'm a follower of justice. So when you are going astray, whether the British English, the Sapo English, the Crew English, the Loma English, I will not allow you to mess with a language like that.
What I want to say to you all on this morning, you're the elders. Those of you that are saying the regains, the backlights, and torments, and so on. Which one among you have seen what is called coup d'etat? Even the interim.
What the hell is coup d'etat? What is that? You say when you're saying the wrong thing, you pronounce the word the wrong way. Coup d'etat.
Government. No one is allowed to overthrow the inter-government because it's a legitimate government.
Mr. President, again, as by virtue of what are you legitimate? What? Give me the instrument that made you legitimate. As far as the Constitution is concerned, sir, you are illegitimate. Until you get the mandate of the people again, you go to the ballot box and they vote for you, you will be considered legitimate. But as far as we are concerned, you are illegitimate.
We are saying every government is overthrown by Sergio in Liberia. What happened to Sergio? Because somebody will say, you're not president. But if we agree on principle for us to serve, and we are in charge, and something as such is done, is there any right to overthrow the legitimate government? So I'm asking all of you this morning on this conference, our fathers, our mothers, brothers and sisters of the conference, which one of one of you have seen a coup d'etat and how does it look like? Which one of all you have seen a coup d'etat that took your government, broke it apart to the stand of seizing the monarch's office, your reserve of your country? Which one of all you have seen that? That letter was dated on April 5th, when we were in Liberia. But I took responsibility. I was required. I was able to land back with all the people that came up in Liberia. The next thing one day, we all landed skillfully in America. We met on the arrival of citizens who came most of us. But I can tell you tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon for this conference, that no one person got headache or in Liberia or trying found safe to put them. But I question if this was a government, a legitimate government of George Weah, and people would do such a thing, what do you think would be the consequences? What would be the end results?
If Guze had it been a real government, but then all the guys you would have decapitated all of them. I finished slaughtering all of them. So imagine Great putting Esau Sargbe on the fire, pop. Bring Boto Jawi, pop. Bring Maya Tori, pop. Grissom, if this were a legitimate real government, the guy would have been deceased by now. Because when I'm joking with that, I will kill all of that. See how the guy thinking. He takes a community and not-for-profit organization and he takes it to be government, my administration. Come on, man, people. Come on. Lord Atton, even though I don't agree with him, but he's still right. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Corrupt people, they always corrupt power. President Geleo is corrupt. So he's trying to corrupt power to make himself an absolute leader, to be the Alpha and Omega of the Support Association in the Americas. But no, when that's how you put it around, we don't have a Leviathan. We don't have a supreme leader. We don't have a deity. We don't have no God in the presence of that's how you put it. No. You have a document, you have a chain of command. They give you your job description, stay within the confines of the job description. Anything to the contrary, you receive moral lashing for that's how you put the esoteric, as I'm doing right now. This could be anybody. It could be my mama, it could be my papa, it could be my political leader. If you are wrong and have incontrovertible evidence, as I have right now, I will do what I'm doing right now. Green is not going to go with the level of mendacities, an offensive word for lies, with the lies that President Geleo is propagating just to stay in power, just to go and pillage our account, because that's what he wants to stay there for, to go and get $3,000 and get $7,000 so you can go and break morale in Liberia, as he said in his form of communication. That's what he wants to do, to go break morale. People are dying in Sinoe County. I was in Liberia not too long ago. I saw the plight of our people. And then Green Geleo is talking about breaking morale. He's talking about, I want the account. And you are not giving, the people they are suffering in the country. And the guy said, the board of directors said, let's try this guy. He requested for $7,000 for COVID relief package to the people. The people said, no, it's not enough. We'll add $3,000. Send it to the people. Up to now, since last year, Green has not sent the $10,000 to the people. No financial report. But he coming around here trying to make the other people look like the boogeyman. No. You cannot do that, sir. You cannot be a sophist. You know, I read some philosophy too. You know, the sophists, they're trying to make the truth to be the wrong and the wrong to be the truth. And that's what Green is doing here. You cannot turn the equation around. No, you can't do that. You can't transpose. No transposition here. You cannot take X from the other side and put it on the other side when I'm here. We are not doing math here. When you are wrong, we will say it. No amount of rhetoric, no amount of sentiments or emotion that you invoke, no historical, example you gave in talking about Bashar and talking about coup d'etat and all that crap you're talking about. It's not going to go. Because that is what, the reason that we're not going, because those things you are giving us don't govern us as an organization. We have the document that what governs us. Get me back provision from the document that you told Slabi Sine to write, that you told Andrew Suat to write, that you told Robert Tuba. Those are people that are working with you right now. That's the document. I want you to cite something from here that backs you. Now and then we're talking. But all that thing you're talking about, Bashar and the other one, and they overthrow the other one. We can go do Google and see the history. We don't know history. That's what Google is for. We don't get time for all that. Give a good argument from the Constitution. You don't have it.
When I came here, I called a general meeting. After the executive meeting to inform my executive that this is what happened when we were away. We have been taken for power by the board of directors. They both by definition, there's a force upon billions. The both sides of the style in North Dakota, but because we wanted peace, because we for the humble background, want to hold some of our association, the values and respect of the Constitution for the sake of our people.
Green is telling on the board of directors their time expired in North Dakota. That is not true. That is a lie on steroid. That is not true. We just read the Constitution. Yes, the Constitution says that the board of directors and the executive should go for election at the same time. That is right. But the Constitution provides that until the board of directors, their successors are elected, their tenure should be extended. It's right there. I just read it to you. And you tell the people, say the people time expire in North Dakota. Okay, why you told your secretary Andrew Suwa to put this in the Constitution? Why you told your publicity man Robert Tuba to put it in the Constitution? Why you told your project man to put it in the Constitution? If you don't want to cite that, why? No, sir. Cite why the guys put in the document. Until at such time the guys' successor will be appointed or elected, they are still illegitimate.
And another board, another term, another year. So this board is a board of convenience.
You're talking about the board of convenience. If it's a board of convenience, then who are you? Constitutional outcasts. Yes, that's what you are. Constitutional outcasts.
Our Father, this board, this man or woman, educated man or woman, said the right thing to do is to take up a power. Why wait? So upright as man. I was done with that one. Hola, I let you. They want for us to die because what it is.
I'm for man, no, so for man. I'm for a dead genu. There are actually dead, I'm not calling you. I'm saying for him, the bar. More point young jet because on 10 more night. You don't speak English. I am an Afrocentric man. So the language, my original language, I know it very well. I say point in the bar. And I say you know by you. But point, I put that do paper console. Monsieur allow no place. Now then I'm on no. Then I put a difflukuna. Am I on no? What were the coinson? Napo jet bali. More no tata. More no so. Instead of that, no say tabatanu. Man, that's a year. Money tabatanu so I'm on Usaa and then no tabatanu. So anu. Eso ye ne. Then I know. I'm on Usaa. Zedban Bache. Chenning William Bache 20. I'm changed by so no. More day where I ate where near Chenwelly. But I'm dreaming so I'm on the soon. Your eyes will be red. I'll tell you the truth.
Physically or spiritually, for killing us that they don't want to see us no more. So what is next?
The message they will killing you physically, spiritually, all of us. I got a guy, so but man, you kill yourself, but constitutionally you kill yourself. Your time expired, the people try to work with you, and you don't want to listen to them, and you say they kill you spiritually, I mean, demonically, and everywhere, satanically. But man, the Constitution kill you, nobody kill you. Like your own document, your own main words, 77 words. Andrew Suwa was, Robert Tuba was, their own constitution that will kill you. Nobody. Unless you say we should not follow what the guy said, then it's a different thing. But as far as we know, nobody kill you and nobody threaten you either. We got to stay by the document. We can't be in Americas and we can't be here and pointing our finger at the government official by like, bro, oh, they're corrupt. They this, that. They're not following the law. And then you don't want to do the same thing here.
Making a game. And with a lie. To inform all the citizens here in America that this is what happened. We have been overthrown for our own people. Over 50% attended the conference and condemned the act. Mr. President, just forget it. It's not going to happen.
The man said over 50% attended the teleconference and they condemned the action of the board of directors. I mean, for the sake of argument, let's assume 50% attended the teleconference. Let's assume 50% attended the teleconference. The United Sapota Association in Americas has 6 chapters. And estimatively, we have about 5,000 members. The president is telling us 50% out of 5,000 members went on the teleconference. And you take 50% words and you're running with it. You have an organization with over 5,000 members and you say 50% get on the teleconference and say, oh, they condemn the bold action. 50%. And those 50% are the supporters of the president. Because when he's sending conferences or information out, he doesn't send it to the people. We told President Geleo the best way to send out communication when you have 6 chapters, each chapter has a secretary. Send a communication to each chapter secretary. And then the secretary of each chapter will send a message to the members of each chapter. That way you have everybody to be in the know of the teleconference. But the guy will send it to his executive member and you put the rest on Facebook. And there is nothing in our constitution that says that our communication should be put on Facebook. No, the man will just throw you on Facebook. How many more people can go on Facebook? When they all wanted to pay now $100 and whatever to go for convention, we don't post stuff on Facebook. We call them. We call people, we talk to them. But when time for them to know what is going on, then Green will post stuff on Facebook so the people can know.
We let it go. I received a letter from the elders. The elders have just called this meeting. On the 10th of August, I arrived from Nigeria on the 8th of April. On the 10th of April, I received a letter. That was a text message from the elder. Mr. Geleo, we understand the critical situation in the community. Please will now respond to the letter the board sent. Acknowledge receipt. On the 10th, the elders wrote me that letter. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the 8th.
Okay, the first thing is the man threw the elders under the bus right there. Okay, he said the elders saying the communication and said, don't listen to the board of directors. If that information is true, then the elders council, they are not trustworthy. Because if you are negotiating between 2 parties and you are sending communication to one party and say, don't listen to the other people, are you an impartial judge? Or you are an aligned judge? You got a side in the equation. Why would you send a communication to GD and say, don't listen to the board of directors? Why would the elders do that? Why? So the elders, their impartiality is questionable. They are not partial. They have a side here already. You are working with 2 people that don't agree. And you are telling them, don't listen to the other man. And so I don't know why we should trust the elders anymore. And that's what I said from the beginning. The board of directors follow the Constitution. Follow the Constitution. But the president is telling us now, he's telling us in his own words. The elders saying communication so they can listen to the board of directors. Now the president, not me.
It's almost 10 days. But I can tell you the comparison I want to make tonight, the delay has caused so many kids.
Okay, so you come and give a comparison, okay? When you're comparing things, when you're doing comparative analysis, you got to make sure, you see, there is something in philosophy we call the problem of analogy or the problem of comparison. When you compare things that are not the same, you create problem. So that's exactly what President Geleo is about to do here. He's about to compare things that are radically different.
Now, it destroys us. We wanted for so long, thinking that the header will come in. It did not come. But Rwanda, the war in Rwanda, the civil war in Rwanda lasted for 90 days. 300,000 people died. So when I can make the decision this morning, because we are delayed, over 200,000 people that are getting affected in the community. Because the situation.
Over 200,000 people, you say in our community, they're being affected. Okay, but you told 50% got on the teleconference, okay? The way you told us. 50%. And you see over 200,000 people in our community getting affected. Okay, why compare the United Support Association activities with that of Rwanda? Are they the same here? In Rwanda, number one, you have two major tribes that were fighting each other. You got a Hutu and a Tutsi, okay? They're two different tribes. We got Support Association, that's one tribe. So the comparison in the first place, in the whole, we don't have two tribes fighting each other here. It's one tribe. The one tribe, the president is not listening to the people. And that's what the problem here is. It never had the problem in Rwanda. That was not, it was a tribal conflict in Rwanda. We don't have tribal conflict here. So why you make such comparison? Why? And you're talking about in 90 days, 800,000 people died. And because the elders, not intervention, they delay, 200,000 of the sample people are affected. So the man is telling you, because of the board, he's blaming the board now. That's why he's doing everything now. And that's why 200,000 people are affected in our community. Because of the board inaction, according to delay. According to him. Even though the board wrote him, they wrote their first communication, the first deal, September of last year. The board, they wrote both the board and the executive. You say, it's the recommendations of the elders. They give the recommendation. Last year, of September last year, the board of directors, they replied in October. President Geleo did not respond until January of 2021. But he said the elders are the one that delaying. Whether you go to Liberia, whether you go to China, we are living in a technological age. They didn't send a team to you through regular mail. They send it electronically. So any part of the world, you can receive a communication and reply to it. But President Geleo said, hey, our in Liberia, when they send me the communication, you don't get access to the internet in Liberia. You are on the internet 24/7. You could reply to the board of directors communication. But you don't want to listen to the people. And that's the problem. And you make all these bogus excuses around here. All these fallacious excuses around here. I mean, we are not elementary thinkers here, man, to buy these things that Green saying. He can talk to those few guys around here. He can bamboozle them with those kind of rhetoric. That's called, we call that a basic rudimentary rhetoric. That's why he's giving those people anything. We are not listening. We are critical thinkers. And critical thinkers, it doesn't mean that we are nitpick. No. We look at the argument that you mount and see whether it has a fault or it has flaws in it. And so when an argument has flaw in it, when we say it is fallacious. So any argument, when it has holes in it, there is not a cogent argument. It's not strong. It's not compelling. President Geleo is not making a compelling case here to us.
And we did not arrest his son. So I will ask a question to this morning. What is your role? Where do you belong? Who do you identify yourself with? What do you see as wrongdoing? And what do you tell as a whole, or as an executive, or even you the elder? To say, this group you are wrong. And what's that? Are we sorted one another in the street? Or we are equal in America? Which is possible to happen? If the character has been destroyed? So this morning, I want to be bold and plain with you. The time of being silent, the time of being the time of being lenient, sometimes over.
Okay, so the Ayatollah is speaking now. The time of silence, the time of leniency, the time is over now. We're talking about force. It's brutality now. We don't do diplomacy anymore. We try what we can do. So the time of listening to people, the time of being lenient, the time over now. So President Juarzon, you're taking it by force now. That's what he's telling you.
Thank God that the executive member of Usaa we don't die. Because the term with the ball was to kill all of us.
Look at it. I mean, come on. That's pure claptrap, the president talking. Somebody wants to kill you for what reason? Come on, man. The guy, man, what is he thinking? Who is telling the guy these things? Somebody wants to kill you for what? What are you doing for people here? Men and women, they're working, they're making their own money, they want to kill you for what? Come on, man. Green, do better than this.
More than that. So I can tell you, the only way that can go with any discussion, a long discussion with anybody, the executive, the board, the head, and I'm saying with the executive, the only way we can have a discussion on this and go further is when the board of directors can publicly re-enunciate that what they did was wrong. We apologize, write us a letter, that we apologize for that letter out of frustration, write our banking institution, that what we did was wrong, we're sorry you did not die, but the 3 signatories are still legitimate members of the United Farmers Association, they are executive, we can have a healthy discussion. If the board can apologize to the 7 people in America that what they did was wrong, we can have a healthy discussion. If the board can rephrase the letter they sent to the bank that we are no longer in charge, we can have a healthy discussion. If the board can displace the electoral commission and the convention committee established by it, we can have a healthy discussion. No executive, as I speak to you this morning, in the absence of this serious event, there's no way that I can continue with any negotiation.
All right. So you listen to the Ayatollah. The only way Green will listen to anybody in the union when the board write publicly and say, Mr. Geleo, we didn't overthrow you. When they write publicly or they write the bank to retract their communication and say Green is legitimate. When they write and say, to dissolve the election commission, I mean, he listed all those things. That's the only way Green will listen to us now. Green saying, I am not going to listen to anybody anymore. Because what? I am the king of the Sapo people. I'm not listening to anybody. The very people that Green is now fighting were the same people that brought him. The same people. You see? So you got to be careful who you bring, who you support. Because you don't know what people are thinking. The same man, the Esau Sargbe did, Geleo did. I mean, you can name them. Those people campaign in Florida and to make the guy president. Those are the people now Green fighting and say, I'm not going to listen to any of them. I'm not listening to them because they are doing their work. Anytime you're working with me, you're doing your work, I'm not going to listen to you. Green is fighting the guys now for following the Constitution. Now, what are you fighting them for? They should go put his name back on the bank so that he can take money from there anytime he wants. And he will not make financial report. That's the only way he will listen. He will. The guy should dismiss the election commission and let the election commission stay. The one he elected or appointed without getting the board consent, and the guy should stay. The one he appointed, where he made his campaign chairman or chairpersons for all the states to serve to be the election commissioners, those are the people he wants. The commission he set up that the woman who is the membership committee chairman, the woman is part of his cabinet, Carlos Shebe, where he made a woman co-chair on the committee, on the election commission, that the commission he says is legitimate. That's Green. And he thinks he's going to intimidate people with these things. He can go and throw your tantrum, sir. We're not going to be intimidated by this. And I like how the chairman came back. Esau Sargbe came back very strong. I thought he would have been out there like baby, he's saying one piece. So Green can't put this thing also. He didn't give her no constitutional backing whatsoever. To say this is what the Constitution says. This is what the Constitution says that backs me up. He didn't say one phrase. He was an made vague reference. The Constitution gave her the mandate to go withdraw money. Where? Show it to me. So let's listen to Mr. Sargbe here.
And that's why I asked you the question. Have you seen a coup d'etat? Have you seen a man who survived the coup d'etat and still president of a nation? Have you seen that? Have you seen those who plotters? The who plotters, have you seen them being captured by the president or being exposed to the nation? And that's why I asked you the same question because most of it are historians. And we saw that. We saw the history of John Garang in 1983. When President Hashem Bashar told the Sudan that John Garang, you have no way to see him, for he will only give you the place close to Uganda. Be there in this time and seek for the panel. John Garang told Hashem Bashar in Sudan that we came to this country with an open heart to move the country forward. But since we're here, he said that nowhere, God bless you. I'm leaving this meeting on hand. And he went back to the forces to the borders of Uganda. And when the main thing were all happy that, General, you are here. And they said, we'll fight. And we'll fight to the last. And after a few days, the country, the president of the Senate went to bar. And that only lasted for a long time. I don't want to revolution the United States Association. But if somebody take a knife in your throat, like in the throat of Mr. After Geleo, the man who said in our community to make a pride the government of Liberia, if somebody will take a knife or in America to disgrace.
Nobody put a knife to Green's throat. So Green should not make the kind of weird analysis. Nobody put a knife to his throat. Nobody is John Garang here. Nothing of that going on. So all that historical analysis is just waste of time. It's a mad waste of words. It's a mad bluff. Now, we're not doing no John Garang thing here. No. So we are glad that the president is historically savvy, but the history is not germane to what we are seeing here. It's off track. Talking about somebody put a knife to somebody's throat. Green is just, the man is confused. He doesn't know what you're talking.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, and someone who kind of this word here I want to tell you. Because to overthrow the legitimate government is a rebellious act. And there's no way any form and any term or any degree that God should be cherished. It should be condemned.
Green, by all indication, you are the one that rebelled against the people because you are not covered by the Constitution and you want to remain in power. And that's why will be considered a rebellion. Yes, nobody is rebelling against you. You are not legitimate. You can't give her one clause in the Constitution that covers you. I've been saying that over and over. And you say rebellious. You are the one that been rebellious here. You are not following anything. When they tell you anything, you say 0-degree tolerance. And you say somebody is being rebellious. You are the rebellious one. And that's why 6 chapters in the Union and only 1 chapter beyond you. You are the rebellious one.
And to this point, I'm not saying there is a condemnation from the errors. All you say is, after hold on. And after almost 30 days, you're still here to let me know that we should have a big negotiation. So I'm giving you my view on this. The only way we can go forward is all those things I just listed. The board of directors will be able to be very responsible to deal with them. Thank you. And God bless the discussion.
All right. Green saying all of that and you say God bless it. What kind of God will bless the other one? Anyway, so that's it. Green said the only way, the man is speaking with absolute language here. The only way there will be a cordial discussion between him and the board of directors when the board can read the bank and say Green name to be put back on the account so he can take our money anytime he wants. Green should write publicly and the board should write publicly apologize to him for saying, Green, according to the Constitution, your time is over. They should apologize to him. The board of directors should dissolve the electoral commission that is set up per the Constitution and let his illegitimate or unconstitutional election commission stays. That's why he arguing here. And the board, you think anybody will be intimidated by this, by his rhetoric?
Amen. Thank you very much.
Wow.
Yeah. Why are we on this meeting then? Because I don't see this meeting as being healthy.
Wow. Karen, please. Don't say that again.
Okay, I try to make a point over there. You see, Khaled Jebele is part of the board of directors of the United Sapota Association. And the president said the only way I will have a discussion with the board until all the demands are made, they are met. And then Khaled said, but then what is the point of us having this discussion? And the chairman of the board came and immediately stopped her. She listened. She kept quiet. That's what we call show of leadership. Because when people are on your leadership belt, you should be able to control them. You should be able to put them in check. So Esau Sargbe did the right thing. I said, no, Manakala, he can't do that. He can't. I mean, he stopped the woman. That's how it's supposed to be. Now, Green cannot do that. When his supporters are disturbing, this is a professional teleconference. Okay? That when he calls a teleconference, it's a chaos because he does not control his people. And these guys exhibited the similar attitude on the teleconference. Come in there. When Honorable Esau Sargbe is given the chance, Green spoke for almost 20 minutes. That whole play was quiet. Nobody interrupted him. Okay? You see that how unprofessional and chaotic the followers of Green are. The guys are not disciplined. Sorry to say my words are a little strong, but that's what they are. They are not disciplined. And the guy, because the leader is not disciplining his followers. And so the guys didn't do anything. A leader who does not instill discipline in his followers is not a good leader. You got to be able to discipline your followers. Let me see here. I don't know. Don't do that.
Thank you, both. We heard what the president has said. According to our agenda, we now hear from the chairman of the board.
1 second, guys. Let me get a bottle of water. Let me get some water here. I'm coming to listen to something with sense in it. Now let's listen to the chairman of the board of directors here. Let's take Green down. Green talking about coup d'etat. I don't know what the hell coup d'etat. All right, let's get to Mr. Sargbe here and see what Mr. Sargbe has to say. All right, let's listen to Mr. Esau Sargbe, the chairman of the board. This is Geleo. I call that Honorable Esau Sargbe, constitutional argument versus former President Geleo's unconstitutional argument.
Sure. Thank you, Reverend Weah.
Okay.
I would like to extend a word of thanks to the executive and all other members of USAA listening in. I also like to thank the members of the board of directors for the level of understanding that they continue to provide in managing the affairs of USAA. To our elders, may God continue to guide you. Firstly, I would like to say that all that the board is doing here today within the confines of the Constitution. There's nothing that we are doing that is outside of the Constitution. So firstly, I would like to ask or find out from the elders whether they have a copy of the Constitution. Yes, we do. Go ahead, make a presentation.
Good. So the chairman again, he's making a constitutional argument. He's not giving his opinion. So the first question he asked, do you have copy of the Constitution? And the elder said yes. Okay. So that tells you that they are following what he's saying with evidence. Okay. Because we are led by a document. And you're asking, do you have a copy of the Constitution? They didn't say no. They said yes. Go ahead.
Okay. So firstly, we experienced the pandemic. We all came together, had a conversation to find a way out. As we go through the pandemic, we have a couple of meetings. We agreed to work together. Probably. We suggested that to the executive. We have to have.
You see, the chairman said they agreed to work together. Okay, that's what the president said from the beginning, to work together. Okay, when you are working together, you got to listen to each other. Okay.
A tentative to working model. Probably that did not go down well with them.
Okay, the chairman is using words as tentative. Okay, tentative. They're giving tentative time to serve, but that didn't go well with the board or with the executive. The guy Green wants to stay there forever. So if you give him tentative time, that's a problem for him. But let's listen to the chairman.
With that being said, we continue to work with them. But in the process, we're encountering some problems. If the board make a recommendation to them, they will not honor. And that we thought was a problem. Common examples. Our letter outline what we think USA should stand. Where? There's nothing in our letter that talks about overthrowing anybody. We simply told the president what the Constitution provides. The tenure is over. You are no more president. So there's nobody in USA that is in the military. So making reference to military coup, John Garang, we are not in that business. I'm sorry.
So that was very effective. That was a good response to the president rebel argument, John Garang, all of that. You say, we are not in that. So, I mean, sorry, sir. I mean, thanks for telling us, but no thanks. In other words, that's what he's saying. I mean, it just, and myself, I'm wondering why would he talk about John Garang and war and all of that? We are making constitutional argument, the chairman said. We are talking about the Constitution, the document that empowers you.
We are in a community. If something happens, we come back and look at where we came from. To reference war, to reference coup d'etat, it's not scary.
It is. They're talking about community stuff, and the men talking about coup d'etat. So it's scary. And that's what I mean, the chairman is right. That is scary. It's embarrassing. How did we get this guy? But I don't blame him, man. That is him. Esau Sargbe that talking. He brought green to us. But the fact that you bring somebody does not mean you cannot correct the man. So Esau is trying to correct the brother. We are working together. We make recommendations to you. You don't listen to us. How do we work together? Well, saying you don't want to listen and your constitutional time frame, the time the Constitution gives you expires, sir, Saying you don't want to listen to us, let us implement the Constitution then. And Green is talking about war, and somebody put Nev to it true, and one call it true, and all that nonsense.
So, to the listening public, there are a couple of violations that were carried out by the executive. But we asked them not to take money, they will go into their account and take the money. And thank God that the president himself admitted that the budget for travel to Liberia was rejected. Thank God that he said that.
You see, the president can turn your man and take put his on the box. The man say, oh, the people we send a budget, but then the people reject it, and one will still take the money. So the man admitted that, yeah, I took the money illegally. I don't care. The only time I will listen to you if you tell me sorry.
We told them we are going through a transition, so please suspend that. The board of directors did not approve the trip to Liberia. The General Assembly that you referenced did not approve the trip to Liberia. So to get it clear, just in a simple term, when Mobutu died, the meeting was called, we all agreed. It was John Weah who proposed 2% going to Liberia at the time. So we all agreed because if somebody died for us, permanent citizens, so we should all go and sympathize with the family. The provision that was made, one person from the board, one person from the executive, the allowance allotted to one of the members from the board. There's somebody doing something here. Give my own voice.
Yeah, that's what they do. They step every time the other person is speaking. When Green was talking, there was no issue on that line. But when the other person is about to speak that they don't support, especially Green supporters, they will start doing all sorts of things, distraction. They're trying to create problems. Listen to the chairman. Let me give you the first example, okay?
So, instead of giving the allowance to the board member, the allowance was stopped. And I called the president. And the president told me, okay, that said you will not give the money because Kali disrespected him. Come on now, Mr. President.
Yes, you see, President Geleo does not like disrespect, but he wants to disrespect the other people. I mean, how is that okay? You disrespect the other people, you don't want to listen to them, but then you say Kali disrespected you, and the people approve of money, and because he disrespected you, you told the treasurer not to give the money to the lady. Okay, what did you do with the money? Saying you didn't give it to her. Did you eat it? Or you put it into a project? If you did, where's the report? Give her the financial statement. Let's see it. We look at the recent financial statement. They reported a lot of things are missing in the statement. A lot of things. But if you ask questions, they don't answer your question. They don't reply to your communication. As a matter of fact,
I called the vice president. The same thing. When we were working on it, the next thing was in Liberia. We were working as a team. You reference people coming together and agreeing. So people think we agree on, they don't want to listen. They don't want to abide by things that people say agree to. Then what we find ourselves? We have the COVID-19 relief of $10,000 supposed to go to Liberia. Today we are yet to know where the $10,000 is.
See, the man giving you two examples already so far. All right, two. The COVID-19, the allowance that's supposed to be given to the representative, the board representative, no accountability for that. Okay, it's not me talking, at the chairman of the board, the people that are providing checks and balances. All right, those are the people that the chair talking, not me.
I don't want to prolong the conversation here. The board of directors is operating within the confines of the Constitution. In the absence of the General Assembly, the board of directors acts. turning of the board, we're supposed to go for election. We know that. But the Constitution provides that when the turning of a board member, not even all of them, is over, you have to elect a new board member before that board member goes out. We are not the one that prepared the Constitution. The Constitution was prepared, sent to the General Assembly, and was endorsed. So we are not the one. All that we are doing here, we are voicing out the voice of the Sabo people.
So you see how effective Mr. Sargbe is arguing here? He referring to the Constitution. And I read all the provisions to you. In the absence of the board of the the General Assembly, the board is in charge according to the Constitution. That's number one. Number two, he said, when the board of directors, he admitted, he said, yes, the Constitution or the resolution for North Dakota provides that the board and the executive should go for election. However, the Constitution provides that the board of directors, before they leave office, their successors should be elected. Okay? Green did not do that in his argument. He didn't give her one constitutional provision. He referenced one of the resolutions for North Dakota, but he did not apply it correctly. Again, I repeat that resolution. It says that when the president submits a budget to the board of directors and that budget is not approved within 2 weeks, that budget is considered automatically approved. Green sent his communication to the board of directors, the budget, and the next day, or if you like the same day, I think, the board replied and said, no, sir, we are not going to honor this. Green still went into the account and took the money. Who is the problem here, people? Green, Geleo, or Esau Sargbe?
So they should not look at the board to say the board against us. That you know, when the General Assembly is not in session, the board of directors take charge. So we are giving a message to the Sabo people that here is the position of the General Assembly. If you have the Constitution, go back to the Constitution. The tenure of office that reference does not cover the executive. When the executive time over, it's just over. We're trying to be decent to work with them because we are the same people. That's why we talked to them first, and they said no. When we went to the meeting that you referenced, the elders said we should work together. I said it would be difficult. But whatsoever we say to them, they don't want to follow it. So the best for us to carry the organization forward, to protect the interests of the Sabo people, let us sit down. Then you come in the middle. It will help us out. If we are following that this time, we will not have what we have here today. So there will not be, okay, the executive in power, the board in power. Let the Sabo people interest be placed on the table. It should be paramount. That's what we're thinking about. Esau?
So you see the language difference between the two guys. Esau is saying the interests of the people. And Green was the interest of the people. Green is saying the only way I want this one. I want this one. If I don't get this one, it's a problem. So Green is using his interest. It's about I and me, what I want. And Esau is saying, what is in the interest of the organization? What does the Constitution say? Because that is our supreme document. Okay, so one guy is using the Constitution, pushing the interests of the people because that's what the people endorsed. The Constitution was endorsed by the members of the United States Association. Okay, so that's the voice of the people. Green is pushing his own voice, his own interest, what he wants.
And the ball go away. It's like you and your executive go away. We are in the middle. And you just executive say, well, you don't want to do it. Now I'm just hearing that the letter we send, you send the executive letter. Or you send it to telling them, don't listen to the board. Amen. But you did say something to ask us. You did not do it. Even before the meeting, I got a message and called Reverend Suah that Reverend John got that the board is wrong.
Yeah, so the chairman actually called the elders out. Amen. Why is it that you, the middleman, are trying to settle the dispute, and you are sending one side communication and say, don't listen to the other people? Amen. Elders, where is your wisdom? Why are you taking side? I told you you're supposed to be neutral. We forgive you, elders. But moving forward, do the right thing. You are the final arbiters in our land. You are the final decision makers. So you make sure and be fair, neutral. Don't send the other person communication and say, oh, don't listen to the other one. Then you undermine your integrity as a peace broker.
I told him. So if you say we are wrong, then why you call us? Then just tell the executive down the head. You just go on with what you have.
Right.
Now the president came on and told us today that we send a letter, they should not pay attention to what we send them. But remember, we are protecting your interests because you are a member of the organization. The Constitution is before you. So to call a shot, Oman, if the provision that we are provided is not within the confines of managing the institution, then you tell us. All the board wants is to stay within the confines of the Constitution. If that does not go well with anybody, then we are sorry. That's what we have. We are not the one that prepared the Constitution. So we are glad that you, that mediating, you are a member of the organization and you have the Constitution with you. So the executive has the right to say that they follow or they don't follow. But we don't want to stay to that point that the Constitution must come to play. And let me make it clear. It is the constitutional provision that we put out there. So no amount or demand the board must retreat to retract the letter or apologize. No point that board will do it. Go to your
That's how man talks. At no point will do that. That's how you're supposed to say. That's the right thing. Because you are wrong. Green is wrong. So why should you apologize to him? I thought the chairman would come and say, oh, Green, sorry. And I said, at no point we're going to do that. You are wrong. You're disrespecting us. You are not following the Constitution. You go in the county and take money, and we say no, don't do it. You still do it, and you tell us to come and apologize to you. At no point we're going to do that. You saw when young boy, young boy yo, Amanda young boy disabled Rudy, young boy you. You're not going to scare people around here in May Green to intimidate you. I thought you were coming to tell Grace, sorry, we already let her. And man said, no, at no point we're going to do that. No point. You give her your emotions and give her weird historical analysis, and we'll kind of debunk the points. The guy gave you, an intellectual is the one, when your friend make an argument, you listen to the person. You listen to the points the person made. And then you debunk those points. The people gave you slew of infraction, violations. They gave that to you. You did not debunk one. All you did was you posted me out, rebellious, those people that are rebels, and da. That's what they call non sequitur in philosophy. It does not follow. You know, the people gave you an argument and you gave a response that does not follow from what the people said. That's a non sequitur. You see? So Green is done. I told you before, Green is done. Esau embarrassed the guy. He was embarrassed by the chairman. He had no argument whatsoever. Nothing to back up what he said. And we are here to tell you the truth. When the guy want to play politics, we are not interested in politics. We are interested in the interest of our people. And so when Green wants to come here and say politics, and you got to apologize to me, we tried this or no, you got to protect our interest, Mr. Chairman.
The Constitution. If you will cancel your Constitution today, then your Constitution should give you the right to operate without laws. Elders, you made it simple to us. When you ask for the country there to work, you provided guidelines that we all should follow. The board accepted everything that you proposed. The executive said they were making determination, and you are yet to address that. They made a determination. So you have to go to the executive, and whether you accept the determination or you reject the determination, because for all the more we accept to want to do, we have the letter here, you have the letter.
See what Mr. Sargbe said? The elder sent a communication to the both parties. And the chairman, the board of directors said, elders, we agree with your proposal, with your ideas. We are willing to work with you guys. We agree. The same communication or the same proposal was sent to Mr. Geleo. Mr. Geleo said, we have determined to do X, Y, Z. We have made our determination. This is what we want to do. We are not going to follow what you say. But then Green will turn around and say the board of directors are the problem. We have made a determination. We're going to stay in power until the COVID-19 is over. And we'll make sure that all projects earmarked will be implemented. Even though the elders say no project should be undertaken. And the elders and the board said they agree with that recommendation. Green said, no, I don't agree. I will implement everything. The projects that I took from Liberia, I will implement everything. Even though those projects from Liberia, those stuff that he brought from Liberia, they were not approved by the General Assembly of the United Sapole Association. Green went there, nobody gave him projects. He brought his own thing.
So the group that said they were making determination, we thought that what you were about to discuss here today.
Yes, that's why you were.
They sent a letter to you. Now you don't address that, you come to us, you heard something. So where are we, elders? The executive constitution is in black and white. And you have it.
Yeah, the guys that are saying they make a determination, those are the people the elders supposed to ask. Okay, we got your communication, the board agree, and you say you're making determination. Those are the people you got to talk to, not the board of directors.
You were mediating. You didn't respond when I said it to you. So the opposition must be governed. When you came to mediate and you start having, we must take it from there. Because we are in control. When the executive, when the General Assembly is not in session, then we have to manage. We have to administer the affairs of the.
Correct. Because the elders, they came and they took SAR. They sent a communication to Drill and said, don't listen to the board of directors. And so when we call you to mediate, according to Mr. Sargbe, and you are not being fair. And when the guy that wrote a communication and said, we have made our determination, and you don't write them back to say, oh, we want to meet with you. You didn't say that. You kept quiet. So it seems that you failed in your negotiation. And since we are protected by the Constitution, let us do our work and follow the Constitution. Because we are a traditional organization, and so we're trying to at least implement our tradition. But it seems to be elders, you are sideline with Geleo when Geleo is doing the wrong thing. You don't confront him, you keep quiet. So the elders, they have been compromised. And first of all, I got a problem with the composition of the elders. Where are our mothers? No one woman on the elders council. Why? They don't know anything? No, I don't want to believe that. Our mothers are very smart, intelligent, and brilliant people. But no one female was selected to be part of the elders council. Why? Is that a male organization we have here? No. When it comes to making collection, the women are more than the men. They pay more money than us. And so when it comes to decision making, also the women must be included. We can't bring that antiquated idea and put the women in the back. They got to be on board. And so that's what the guy fought. The elders, they fell because they took the mothers out. They nurture us. The people that nurture, they sideline them. And they go on with the board. Say, and not the board, but the executive, don't listen to the elders. I mean, don't listen to the board of directors. Whatever they say, don't listen to them. You see? When you sideline the women, because they say, beyond every successful man, there is a woman. So for you, the elders, to be successful, you have to buttress yourself with the women. Let the women be the foundation. But you put the people aside. And you guys want to bring masculine or patriarchal system where the women they are only relegated to the kitchen. Oh no! In the days I used to put it, everybody will get an input, whether financially or otherwise. The women, they pay their money, they pay their quota to the organization. They should be part of decision making. They shouldn't be relegated to when they pay money. And that's why adults are having problems right now.
Organization. And that's what we are doing. That's why the Constitution gave us. That's the power they gave us. So we are not doing anything outside of the Constitution. If we are doing anything, just point it out. That's what I asked for the Constitution. Just tell us.
Point it out. The chairman said, that's why he asked the question from the beginning. Do you have the Constitution? And he said, yes. If we are doing anything outside the Constitution, point it out. They couldn't do it. Even Green Geleo, who making all that noise, he couldn't point something out. So what the noise is all about here? If we cannot give all one sentence in the Constitution and say, board member or Mr. Chairman, this is what covers me. If you can't do it, then what is it, all the noise about? It's all about? There shouldn't be noise here. If Green respects the Constitution, if indeed the oath he took to defend the Constitution, if that is true, if you are genuine, then Green shouldn't be making noise here. The Constitution, you are out.
You're all here. You're on the table. So, what the president, Mr. Geleo just said, Mr. President said, the Constitution asks you, not the board. That's why in the Constitution you're 3 years old. So we must remind you that you're 3 years old.
Oh yes, you should be reminded, Mr. Geleo. You are right, Mr. Chairman. Be reminded that the Constitution, according to the Constitution, your time was over last year, August 31st. Let me remind you, sir. So don't make noise here. We just have to remind you. That communication was a reminder of what the Constitution said to Geleo. The board did not overthrow nobody here. Green should not go there and be putting rhetoric and be emotional and all that thing. He's not going to save him. And board, the chairman told him, at no point we want to apologize to you. And I support him. Do not apologize to Green until Green start to obey the Constitution. Inasmuch Green will not support the obey the Constitution, he does not deserve any respect, at least from the angle of the Constitution. I'm not saying we should go around disrespecting him, but in as much he does not want to follow the document that he took oath to follow, why apologize to him?
You are not covered by the Constitution. That is simple. That is very simple. You not do anything. All the people say we sack you. We didn't sack you. The letter is clear. We outline all the violations that you have made. So don't take the letter out of context. The letter is simple. Please, we are one.
Yeah, but he's a one young by ma. Young by Yanura. Ma, young by you. The letter is clear. The man gave you the violations. You don't debunk those violations. You can't talk about the person that rebel, the other one that rebel, that they overthrew me, they put an end to my throat. Green, code, baby, stop, man.
People, let's come together and find a meeting point. Our people are listening to us. You know that? Our people are listening. So please, we are appealing to you to see reason that will come up with a working solution that will move us forward. Let's do away with the rhetoric of calling people rebels, that. We don't want to go there. You call me rebel, fine. But remember, we are in a cyber community. You have a lot of guys that sacrifice their life to save our people. They're right in your backyard. They're right at your dinner table. But I don't want to go there. But if this is how we talk today, maybe you see me I alone. You must have seen taking me to jail with lies. But you might have 20 more persons that will follow Esau Sargbe. You might go to Liberia, say that you go to Liberia to bring list. But Esau Sargbe will stay in America and get a list of people that will testify. We are all Liberians. We all were in a war zone. We know each other. I'm appealing to the elders for them to slow down a little bit. Character assassination will not help us out. The way you denigrate me, if I get on social media and start calling names, it will not be good for the cyber community. Because we have several people who participated in war and are in this country.
You see, the disrespect about to start now. Green spoke, none of them opened their mouth. Not one person. They were quiet. Now Esau is talking. The supporters of Geleo, they're about to are rude because they don't respect anybody. And Green will not put them in check. When Kale spoke, Esau would have, no, I can't allow that. Kale, be quiet. I mean, he didn't say like, but he just told her to, keep it cool. You know what I'm saying? But Green will not be, the guys are telling him, call it name. The man is making a point. He's just telling you, I'm not here to call names. He said that already. I'm not here to call names because it would not be pretty for our community. The guys are all over the internet and calling this man all type of names for just doing the right thing. For once, let's try to get somebody who will do the right thing. And Esau Sargbe, I'm with you on this one. Do the right thing. Don't let Green, Geleo, and those guys to intimidate you. Do the right. Let them call you names. They are very Jesus they were talking about. They say, Messiah, Messiah, Messiah. And then they wake up and say, crucify him. So don't listen to the people. Once you are doing the right thing, be consistent. Yes. The people was, once you are doing the right thing to certain people is wrong. I think the Liberian people, for the most part, doing the right thing is seen as though you are doing the wrong thing. We like to do the wrong things. Yes, for some reason, a lot of us, we are enamored to doing the wrong things. So that's what Esau Sargbe, you are on the right track here. Green Geleo is dead wrong. And I would say any day and any time. People say I'm a chat piece. Yeah, I'm here for us to be united. But I'm not going to swallow the truth. If you are wrong, I will call you out. If you don't like me for that, hey, so be it. But you can't call the man names for following the Constitution that you told the guys that are supporting you to write. And then whatever you wrote, you put on paper, when the man is implementing it, then you call him names, you calling him rebel, all type of names. What kind of disrespect is that?
I don't want to call anybody name. I mean, somebody will call it in the background. I'm talking now. Interruption, please. Nobody talk when the president was talking.
You see, that's it. That great followers. They don't listen to other people. They like to disturb. They are not professional. They don't understand professional etiquette. Yes, they say they are professional people, but Green doesn't organize workshop. You got to organize workshop, seminar, something to train these guys. They don't know professional etiquette, professional principles, how to be professional, how to conduct yourself in a professional fashion. Even if you do not agree with somebody, you don't interrupt. That is rude. These are basic stuff you're supposed to know by now at your age. Green spoke for almost 20 minutes. None of them said a word. The board of directors, all the guys were quiet. Nobody said a word. But now Esau is talking, they're ready to talk. The same thing they can do. Lisa Fowler will be on the line and Samuel Shepard will be on the side. Green will not say a word. He'll just be there. What kind of man? He's not a leader. Green is a follower. He's not a leader. He ain't like the father Esau Sargbe stood up to him today.
Continue, go. Presiding chairman? Yeah. Where? You look into what happening? Yeah, just continue. Let people here. Okay. So all that I'm saying here on behalf of the board of directors, I just want to make it short. The president violated our constitution several times. We agreed to work with him. And we are still prepared to work with the USA. All we are doing here is to enforce the Constitution. We are willing to listen to you. Whatsoever suggestion you think you would make, and will bring us together, we are listening. Okay.
So you hear the difference? Green is saying, I am not going to listen. Green said, the time of leniency over. The time of listening to people is over. We're going to do anything that we feel like now. The chairman is saying, on the other hand, we are here to listen. So you see the radical difference, all right? The huge dichotomy between the two guys. So you decide now who is the problem, whether that Green or Esau Sargbe.
I'm done. Yeah, okay. Well, members of the DIASPORA Association, president of the union, volunteer elders, we came prepared. I don't know where, I know my elder will support me. We came with prepared, but we heard some things that we knew about, but not in detail as given to us by both the chairman of the board and the executive. And so, I would suggest to a member of the letter, what we have now, all the suggest that we take up study all these things that were mentioned to us today and come back with adequate response to our children. That's what I will suggest. But there's so much here for us to come up with only one proposal to them today who address all of these issues. So my suggestion is to the elders and to all of you that we by the grace of God, next week, about this time. At that time, the elders will be able to look at all of these complaints and concerns and come to you with adequate response. So that is my suggestion, and I know my elders and you all will support me, because there are so much what you all have done. And just to present what we have now, having heard all of these things, I don't think it would be justice to this whole organization. So, as chairman, I beg you that we close at this time and give us a week from now to next week, and we will be adequately prepared to address what you are giving us today, and then we will move on from there. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that was the chairman of the Elders Council. That's Mr. Reverend John Blah making the call after Mr. Sargbe had decimated the impeachment argument of Grand Geleo. They say, you know what, we got to go by again. Instead, they come for 1 week to come up with verdict. So 1 week they will come back to the meeting to give the whatever they want, the recommendation they will make. They will make the recommendation.
Yes. Hello. Yes. Yes.
President Geleo talking again. Listen.
You said what, a week? Yeah. You need a week and 2 shots? We're going to take a week, yes. We see that there are something that we are to deal with in our meeting and come to you with adequate response. We heard these things, but not as detailed as we heard from the president and the board. So for us to come now with what we have, I don't think it's justice. Okay, Reverend. I think that they might be the closure of this meeting, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me make this this clear to the executive. This is the president. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. When I was speaking, I think the chairman came and said, we're calling people rebels. No, we don't call people rebels. We'll give us a historical perspective of how this thing looks like. And I ask several questions. Who have seen the coup d'etat? So every time you try to take control of a legitimate government, that in any form is called rebellious acts. In the military, when you go against the ruling officer in charge, they commit it. That's what I was saying. But
I don't know where the military, we got military, so you're talking about mutiny and all of that. So how would the example or the historical reference, I would say, analogous to what is unfolding here? I mean, they are not even the same. Talking about community organization activity, and you're going to military and all of that.
I'm going to say this to you. Like I said, we've been having an open mind for a long time. We're very respectful to this process. Now we have limited time to do the work that is before us as an executive. I'll be telling you that we have the report.
Green saying they got limited time, you know. This is the man that gave whole 2 years to set an election commission. He refused to listen. And now he say, I got limited time. What limited time you have? They gave 2 years, 2 years. Green tried to make sure and put a team together to the electoral commission. Almost 2 years to get that man. The man will not listen. And he telling the people, say, I got limited time.
A plan convention and put the places where convention should go. And so I'm open. In the 2 years from now, or tomorrow, the next day.
So Green is saying, I put people into places to determine where the convention will go. You see, the guy continue to miscalculate and misfollow the follow the Constitution. Basically, the man is not following the Constitution. There is nowhere that says that the board or the executive should determine where the convention should go. Nowhere in the Constitution. It is the obligation of the General Assembly. Let me read that position one more time here. Let me read that part of it. It's right here. The Green one document. The same man again that he's supporting, or that's supporting the same people that told him. Let's look at the function of the General Assembly. It's not Green job. What he's telling us right now, he said that his job. He putting people into place so that they can come on with the location where the convention will go. Let's look at what the Constitution says there. A national convention to be held, that's Article 21 of the Constitution, Section 1.1. A national convention to be held in April. Again, they amended this place, so it's August now. In August, in April each year. The date and the host chapter. The date and host chapter. The date, I read again, the date and the host chapter of the National Convention shall be determined by the General Assembly sitting in convention. The Green Geleo Constitution, their own people wrote it. All right. Article 21, Section 1.1. A national convention will be held in April each year. Again, this portion was amended. So April now has been changed to August. Okay. The date and the host chapter of the National Convention shall be determined by the General Assembly sitting in convention. It didn't say the president. So Geleo is telling us he said on 18 to determine where the convention will go. Okay. But the Constitution says the people that are sitting in convention will determine which we call the General Assembly will determine where the next convention will go. All right. That your own man wrote it to you. The people that the people that are supporting the Secretary General understand that Stabi Sine. All right. Boto Jawi also is a part of the board. He's part of the Constitution here. He's one of the guys. The guy Hamilton Cooley on this one as well. The guy Maya Tuli is also then this Connery on this one here. They amended one. The other one, I'm reading two of them. The updated one here. This one is Andrew B. Sua. Harris Cannery. He's the co-chairman. Andrew Sua, who is the secretary now for Green Geleo. He is the chairman for the review of the Constitution here. The next wasn't the secretary that is Stabi Sine. They got Francis Clark Myers here, contributor, and get Robert Tuba. Okay, that's what the people gave us. And Green is saying, I set out a team to determine where the convention will go. So the guy is now even following the very Constitution that he instructed people to look at. All right.
You might see the publication for me. The Senate is all in America. How the convention will be, where the convention will be, and who will be.
How the convention will be, where the convention will be. So he said in the coming days, he will put communication out how the convention will be and where the convention will be. So Green is now determining where convention goes. Okay. The man is a dictator. He doesn't want to listen to anybody. He's doing his own thing. If you don't listen to what Green says, that's a problem. So Green Geleo is the Trump, the Donald Trump of the Sabo community. Once you don't agree with Green, it's a problem. Green is the Milton Tiaji of the Sabo community. When you don't agree with him, it's a problem. And we don't get time for that. We are not coward. We are not timid people here. You can't bully us and going outside the Constitution and you want us to follow, to kind of be, coyed by that, Mama Jomo, you talking.
I just want to open as much as possible to all of you here, and then we can come by and have a discussion.
Yeah, so the person that talking at the national chair lady, they say the president should not have said what he said. That you're gonna you got the people settled already. They will determine where the convention is supposed to go. Even though the Constitution said that people that sit in convention will determine where next convention go. And so in 2019, the people were met there and was voted upon where the next convention should go, which is Florida. Green is now telling us he's going somewhere else. Okay, So you are the judges. You that are listening to DIASPORA, the esoteric, the voice of justice from Sinoe County, from Liberia, from Africa. I'm speaking, giving you the evidence. So you either indict Green, you exonerate the bull, or you indict the bull and exonerate Green. But anybody who exonerates Green, then you are not on the side of justice. Then you are not somebody who obeys laws. You don't respect laws. You believe in anarchy because Green believes in anarchy. He doesn't believe in law. He wants to work outside the scope of the law so he can do anything. Because what law does is it constrains our power, it binds us, it limits us from doing certain things. And that's why we got law. Without law, the fittest, the survival of the fittest, the dying of the least, the die of the least suitable. So that's what Green wants, the Darwinism. That's what he wants.
Mr. Weah, your number, please. Esau. Esau, yeah. All right. You are serving as the mediator. You are a member of the organization. Yeah. I reference the Constitution. Okay. There's no part in the Constitution that gives anybody power to plan a convention not authorized by the General Assembly. The General Assembly agreed that we go to Florida. Okay.
See, so Mr. Sargbe continue to correct these guys, but they don't want to listen. Somebody at the back there saying, "Just stop that, man." And that person, it sounds like Oteka. Oteka, somebody else thought that he knew better. But I mean, the guy is a disappointment, you know. Esau Sargbe is on point here. Those guys are just been, they're talking about rebellions and people. That's what they are doing now. They are rebelling against the decision of the General Assembly. The very people that they will count on, they're quoting and say, "Oh, the General Assembly says this." They are rebelling against the decision of the people in North Dakota, 2019. And Esau is correcting them per the Constitution. He kept saying the same thing. No, it's not our job to do this. It's not your job, Mr. President, to do this one.
If Mr. Black allow everybody to talk when I'm speaking, then there's trouble because when the president is talking, the board members remain quiet. So the ones you do that, you don't want to put the convention in place. The ones you talking.
You see, they're just talking. They're just talking. They're not even listening. They don't know what is going on. They don't know. They know, but deliberately they're trying to distort the reality.
Okay. So all that I'm saying here, remember, all of you are mediator and member of the organization. Whatsoever except the organization except you. Yeah. So we are coming to you with this information provided. With the information provided, we are telling you the Constitution made provision that we are going to Florida. So, you're not even stopping them for even disrespecting Mr. Ed. Please, don't talk about listening to Okay, so I just want to remind all of us that we are going to Florida as provided by the General Assembly. And let me tell you something too. We got information that is not confirmed that Mr. Geleo and the team have moved the money from where it's supposed to be. So I want the type of people to know. If that is the case, you have evidence.
The guys don't even listen. The man is saying, I got unconfirmed. And the man said, do you have evidence? Unconfirmed. How do you understand unconfirmed? So the guys are not listening. They're just there to make noise. Green did not say, no, I didn't do it. Somebody is coming on the side and said, do you have evidence? Green is right on the teleconference, and the man is saying, we got unconfirmed report that Green took the money from the account and put it in a different account. Green did not say no. So there's a reason why Green is silent. There should be truth to that. And somebody on the other side tell you, yeah, evidence of that. Let Green refute what he said. Green did not refute what Esau said. And so we have reason to believe a little bit until we get the facts. Yes. So you think you're going to interrupt and you make somebody, you intimidate somebody with interruption? You guys been doing that forever, but it's not going to deter us. I'm going to record every teleconference and bring it to the public. Saying you guys don't want to be disciplined. You don't want to follow the Constitution. The man spoke English. He not speaking Sapo. All confirmed before he said, the money was taken from the account. We got all confirmed information. The man is simple. That's simple English over there. But next time he's going to speak Sapo. I want that on Esau. Green do a real put it the banking on a deal do also a banking out at Poiri. Green side of Willie or put at will or put an on to a poor Zijubo.
I'm just providing information. There is some money appears to be in limbo, so that you will know. I have no evidence, I'm just providing the information for you to know. Okay. So as the board of the region authorized to manage the health of the organization, if we find out what happened. Yeah. So I just telling you to know. So that be a surprise.
So that's what they do with the Green supporters. Once you are making sense, they want to disturb. That's what they do. Don't make sense to those guys. Once you make sense, all of them will start disturbing so that people will not hear the sense you are making. That's their point. It's just strategic. Everything they do is strategic. If you go there, you talk nonsense, all of them will be quiet. But just make sense. Green supporters, all of them, they will start making noise. They are embarrassed by sense. Make sense. Bring evidence, they will just make noise. That's what they do. See? That's what they do. And Green will be quiet because that makes him happy. People are disturbing. Yeah. You know, the board members, all of them, like they are not on the teleconference. But Green got his Mujahideen on the teleconference just to disturb. Yeah.
Not running away from, but please hold on to whatever you are doing until we have this meeting next time, please. Okay. We can plan within 1 month. We can plan within 1 month. Please hold on to that. Listen, Reverend Brown, please.
The chair, national chair lady, you probably get a soup. We'll cook your food. We'll know what to do to you. You know. Now, I want to say national chair lady. She took side with Green Eye and telling people, say, we'll get your soup. We'll cook your soup. And then when I talk, my own papa will call me and say, oh, you're talking about my woman. The woman is not conducting herself as a leader of the community. She's taking side. You're a chair lady, national chair lady, not national chair lady for Geleo. So then you're telling people, Galipa, we will get your soup. We'll know how we'll deal with you.
This meeting, this is to close This is part of SWAT meeting. I have a question for no, man. Well, that's not a question I want to deal with it. Okay, I'll ask a question. What question is you want to solve this issue that before? If you ask a question, then I have a question. Everybody will have a question. That's all the meeting. But if you ask a question, I have a question. Right. Yeah. That's it. No other question now, please. Thank you, Reverend Black. All your questions and bring them to us next week when we all will consider what has been said about us. But I'm President, please hold on with your pen.
You hear what they're saying? The elder is telling Geleo to hold on with your planning. The guys, they don't want to listen. They're making no. You see, the guys are so disrespectful. They don't listen. And this is why Green been having problems. They don't listen. The people around him, the people that are supporting him, they don't listen. And Green himself, he doesn't want to discipline those people. You see people telling him, nobody gonna hold on. President, go ahead. Who are you leading? The people are telling you, the elders are telling you. The people are part of the organization too. You don't lead yourselves. I mean, the guys are not just, it's just weird, man, to have all these weird thinking people.
What happened? I got you. I don't give you. Y'all go ahead. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's get started by 10 o'clock. Whatever time, then show me that everybody forward that. Okay, let's see. I think every convention of fire is available.
So the chair lady is talking, and the people are talking about postpone. The elders say Green should hold on. She said she's selling laptops. Okay. Oh, we get a convention laptops. The first question is, where does she get the money from? Because no one of the money for the convention is taken from the account. It has to be approved by the board of directors for the money to be withdrawn. Where did she get the money from for the laptops that the chair lady got on sale right now? You see, the people are playing in our account. Yes. And the information that Mr. Sargbe put out, it has a huge dose of truth to it. That they took the money from the account and carried somewhere else. Where did the national chair lady, where did she get the money from to buy the laptops? Where did she get the money from? You see? And that's it. The corruption, it continues in the Geleo administration. And when you find out when he makes financial report, you will not include that. Yes. The chair lady said, Lapa on sale. Where did they get the money from? That's the question. Where? Where did they get the money from? How much did they take from the account to get Lapas? When? Why? All right, America, so that's the Sapo community for you. I just wanted to, that's my job, just bring it out to you, put it in context. And you out there, you can make your own decision. Whether the board is the problem, whether the executive is the problem, or the elders is the problem, or better yet, Dax Ayopoda is the problem. You can make your choice now. All right? Is Dax Ayopoda the problem? The elders, the board, or the executive? Make your choice. I've selected because I'm on the side of the Constitution, and I think the board argument is in keeping with the Constitution. So I agree with them. I don't agree with President Gio and his team that I don't want to follow any document, that I don't want to follow any rules, that I don't want to listen to anybody. When somebody making sense, they're making noise. I don't agree with them. Okay? So let me read your comments and we'll call it a night. I want to see some of the comments that are trending here. And then we'll call it a night. They sound so frustrated. They can't find their way out. Things fall apart at the end. Very sad. That's true, chair lady. The guys are struggling. They don't know what to say. Oh Lord, you are now a government official. Get over it. They got to. Green doesn't get it. He ain't a government official. Legitimate government or an NGO? No, that's a very good question. I wanna he knows what he's talking, what he's doing. The guy just doing, he just guessed it. He's just talking anything that comes to his mind. The protesters, Mr. Hamilton K said, the protesters and those demanding Mr. Geleo's to not have a voice are wrong. Who said Green should not have a voice? Who said that? Nobody says that. 8 consecutive years in the consecutive years, the chairman of the boards are banned in power since 2003. Why this chairman cannot step down? I mean, I don't know whether you, Mr. Is it 8 years then 2003? Or in Florida 2016. And then I think they had another board election in Florida 2017. I mean, so you can't say that the number, your statistic is wrong, sir. Yes. Green has a voice, but he has to follow the Constitution. That's what we're saying. We didn't say Green shouldn't talk. By your terms, ban expire, brother, doesn't mean you are incapacitated. What are you? If your term expire, are you capacitated constitutionally to work? No, you are not. The word incapacitated in Article 14, Section 1.10 have to do with legal determination by a judge or doctor to tell if the person is incompetent. How did you get that interpretation? It's not written in the Constitution. So I'm not sure where you got that from. They said when you are incapacitated, and they didn't define. They say, "Oh, doctors should tell you that you are incapacitated." So you're making out your own thing, sir. That's your own interpretation. I'm not angry at you. Minister Olivia Esau said, "Leaders always work for the people and also listen to the people. Leadership is not a self matter." That's a great summary, Minister. I think you have to have some seminar sometime to lecture these guys on the final point of leadership. Because, I mean, especially the executive. Those guys don't understand leadership at all. They think they're just making noise and not listening to the other people and being pompous and being arrogant. That's what they think leadership is. That's misinterpretation of Article 14, Section 1.10. Well, your interpretation is also not in the Constitution, so where you got it from? Yes, she said, Minister Olivia said, and College of Green is infested with contradictions. I know, right? It means a bundle of contradictions. She also said, no, LIB messenger, the corruption, dishonesty, a lot of interest for our country bait. What is that? The corruption, dishonesty, and a lot of interest for our country. Maybe meant to say lack of interest, I think. Milton said those that are supporting former President Geleo only cared about themselves, not the Saba people. Their behaviors are on display before and after his official term has ended. However, those that also believe in the struggle and all suffering of our people will continue to do what is right. That's right. Beautiful, beautiful statement right there. Let's see. The comment from the political lion of Sinoe County, Mr. George Weah, and I'm watching from Chicago City. Okay, sir. Thanks for following the show. Really? Yeah, Deputy Dato is really. That's it. That's what you're hearing. The people taking your money. You shouldn't speak or you'll be back there. You're quiet. You pay your hard money and the post pay your money anyhow. Wow. The Queen of Delaware Valley chapter said, the beauty of our culture, it's best. Thanks for the extraordinary job. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for thanking me, as you say. Monitoring esoteric from the New England Bureau PR. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Also, let's see. I think those are the comments I'm seeing trending right now. Okay, the man you just said that earlier. 2003. I was in Ghana. I know, right? All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much for following the Voice of Sinoe. We want to talk to you next week. We got more tonight. I didn't want to keep that breaking news for the information out of Potter or me, but I really want to say thank you so much for following us. And we will talk to you. Let's play a little bit of reconciliation here, and we'll talk to you next week. Tomorrow we are not having a show. We got a lot of things to talk about, but tomorrow I'm taking a day off, and you'll go rested. He ain't tired, but he rested, so I got to rest too. So let's do our Sargbe. Sargbe. Tari Cheali. Leave fighting business. No commotion. Follow the Constitution. Tari Tabatali. Tari Sobosoli.
Assemblée, à problème, tout sagrément. À Guinouba, à Gaouga, tout sagrément. À Guinouba, à problème, tout sagrément. Assemblée, à Gaouga, tout sagrément. I'm on Derivo, in Derivo. I'm on Blemo, I'm on Derivo. I said I get it. Watch out, we want peace and unity. Watch out, we always come together. Love is the reason why we live. Love is the only thing that brings us together. Watch out, we want peace and unity. Watch out,
Watch out. We want peace and unity. Watch out. I said tabata pong. All right, guys. I want to say thank you for following us. Milton, thank you as well for staying out late with me to get the information. We will talk to you next week.